bold.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Fight and be bold. Fight and be bold.
Just wanted to let you know this is a peaceful, nonviolent action. We're just here to deliver a message to President Biden, asking him to meet our key demands by taking action right now when it comes to declaring a national emergency for climate. We've been out here all week since Christmas. We've been sleeping right down the street. Some of y'all probably seen us. We just want to bring more attention to this because he has the power to change. So would we be able to deliver a letter to the president?
No, you will not be able to deliver a letter directly to him. You're going to have to go through normal ways of delivering mail, sending in the mail. No one can physically deliver a letter to the president. As you can imagine, there's things we're worried about that could be hazardous material, anything like that. And we as the Secret Service do not deliver messages to the President of the United States.
Okay.
Well, we'd like to have the president designate somebody to come down to speak to us. Whether that person can take what we have to give him or her, we have a message we'd like to read to somebody representing the president.
And as I mentioned before, us as the Secret Service, we're not going to be delivering messages from the public to the president. That's not our job. You're going to have to go through your Congress representatives, your political representatives to get a message.
Yeah, we've been doing that for years.
Unfortunately, there's nothing in my power to do that, and we will not be able to let you hand deliver a letter to him.
Again, it's not. We want somebody that the president designates to come here to hear our message. We have a one-page letter we've written about why we're here and why it's so important that you hear our message. That's what we're asking that you do.
Right.
And he's continuing to burn fossil fuels, even though every agency in the whole world has told him to stop. He's still drilling. He's still opening land for drilling. But we only have 7 years left before we are going to go to catastrophic levels of carbon in our atmosphere. Are you guys aware of that? Like, is there any help you can get us a representative here from the president's office that we could read this letter to?
As I mentioned before, that's not our responsibility. We're not here to deliver messages back and forth. We're here to protect the President of the United States.
Does he have a PR person here?
You'll have to go through normal channels like the mail or online.
We've done that. Actually, the phone number for the White House rarely picks up. I've tried over and over. No one ever answers. You can't even leave a message. And I have emailed and emailed and emailed. And what did he do? He came back from COP26 and he opened more land for drilling into our one Earth. We have one Earth. All these people, we've been out camping out for a week now to draw awareness to this climate crisis. We are in a climate crisis. If you have children, if you're even thinking about having grandchildren, you have to understand the severity of this crisis. And so does our president. We need him to listen, and he's not listening. We've tried everything. We've tried everything.
And I understand you guys have a message to deliver. Unfortunately,
I honestly don't believe that you cannot communicate with the president's people where he is. I don't believe that. I know you can do that.
Someone on the
I know
phone?
you can do that. You can communicate with somebody. I'm sure there's a designated person down there that you can communicate with. Tell them we want to read this letter to a representative of President Biden. That's all we are asking, and then we will turn around and we will go back, and you're done with us for the day. That's it. That's all we're asking.
guys, you just watch your backs real quick. I don't want you to get hit by any vehicles coming through.
But we're terrified, and our children are terrified. We've had youth from all over the Northeast region this week speaking out about this. I mean, our youth are terrified. They deserve an audience, even if it's just a phone call, you know, with someone who's going to listen to us, because we're going in the wrong direction, and it's happening rapidly. I mean, we just saw Hurricane Ida, the tornadoes in Kentucky. I mean, what more do we need? What more do we need to happen before our president stops drilling in our lands? He's going to open up more, at least in 4 states this spring. No more drilling. No more drilling in our lands.
Well, you have the right to peacefully protest as long as it doesn't interfere with any of the avenues for people to exit their community. and you can't block any of the entrances or exits. But as I said, we will not be able to physically
We will,
deliver a message.
we will leave the minute we are able to communicate. Maybe it's just by the telephone, as she said. We want to communicate. This is it. That's all we want to read to one person from the president's team. You cannot tell me that you cannot do that and that the president cannot do that. I'm sorry.
He was just at Banks Seafood. He was at Banks Seafood taking photo ops with people and smiling as if we're not an emergency. I know the people he was there with. It's unfair. It's unfair that he goes to Banks and takes selfies with people I sit at the bar with, and I can't tell him that my planet is burning up and that my children, all three of them, don't want to have children because they're terrified of our future. And we have youth here today that are terrified of their future. We don't want to be out here. I don't want to be sitting at home watching Netflix. I'm out here because our planet is dying. Look around. It's happening. All we want is an audience. We want to make sure the most powerful man in the world. The Secret Service last night told us he's the most powerful man in the world. You know, but if he's hanging out at Banks Seafood, then he can sit here and listen to us for 2 minutes. Why not? We are not crazy. You know what's crazy? It's destroying the planet that you live on. No other species has ever done that. We are the first species in history that destroys their own home. And you guys should all be, I don't mean to point, you guys should all be scared too, because it's your families too. All we want is a minute and a half. It'd take me a minute and a half to read this. Somebody's poisoning our water, and it's gone on far too long. It's gone on far too long. Oh, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's poisoning our water, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore.
We have a letter that we want somebody from the president's team to come out, and we can give them the letter, and they said, well, they can't accept anything, they can't take anything, it has to be tested, etc. So we said, all right, so have somebody come and we'll read it to them. And then we said, have somebody call us on the phone from the president's team. So that's where we are. We said, we're not leaving until we are able to communicate with somebody on the president's team and read to that person why we're here and what Biden needs to do. So that's where we stand right now.
All right.
Climate change is class war. What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Dear President Biden, we hope you are aware that for the last week, from Christmas morning until today, a coalition of groups representing the movement for strong climate action has been conducting a 24/7, 168-hour Occupy Biden action at the Route 141 entrance to Barley Mill Road. We are calling upon you to do two things immediately, President Biden, which you can do. Issue an executive order declaring a climate emergency, as 38 countries have already done. Given the critical world leadership role of the United States, we hope you will agree that this is the right step to take given our quote-unquote code red situation. That is a Biden quote. Number two, issue an executive order directing all federal agencies to oppose any new fossil fuel projects going forward. This is what the International Energy Agency called for this past May, and they said it should happen in 2021. It's common sense. When you're in a deep hole, the only way to even get out of it is to stop digging. Expansion of the industry, which bears primary responsibility for the deep code red emergency we are in, just can't happen. No expansion of fossil fuels.
No expansion of fossil fuels.
Shut it down. Our encampment is ending today, but our commitment to do everything we can to slow, stop, and reverse the global heating crisis has only been strengthened by the positive response to what we've been doing. We are not going away.
No.
We will call upon you to issue these two executive orders in the month of January and use your powers as president to lead now on this rapidly deepening existential crisis. To use his words, this is not This is reality.
This is reality.
If you don't declare these two things, we will take action to get you to do so again and again and again, as much and as strongly as necessary. Love Occupy Biden. You picked the wrong place to live, Biden, because we're here.
Climate change is class war.
Climate change is class war.
Climate change is class war.
So you of tender years, we don't know the fears that Biden grew by, but we'll teach him with our youth. He seeks the truth so we can all live by. We are going to ask him, why won't you act right now, Biden? So we don't have to cry or sigh, and we can still tell you that we love you.
We love you. And we love Mother Earth. We love your children's children.
Protect our water. Protect our land.
Protect our water.
Protect our land.
Protect our water. Protect our land.
Protect our water. Protect our land.
Circle up, circle up, circle up. That's the press.
We have not come here alone.
Biden's gonna go the other way.
If you listen, you can hear them in our soul. We have not come here alone. If the people in our bones, we have not come here alone. If you listen, you can hear them in our soul. We have not come here alone.
Talk to them. Tell them just accept the letter. I don't know whether
We have not
I mean the same people over there we
come
talked
here
to.
alone. If you listen, you can hear them in our soul.
To life. Thank you for your service to our country.